Hi, I'm Jimmy Chang, and we're here to talk about, given the sine of an angle, how can I figure out the angle? Well, it really depends on how common the sine value is, and then you can go from there. Because if it's a common sine value, then you can generally figure out what the angle is right away. But if it's an uncommon sine value, then there's another tool that you can use. Let's talk about the common scenarios first. For example, if you are given the sine of theta is equal to, let's just say, square root of 2 over 2, this is actually a very common sine value because the idea here is sine of 45 degrees is going to be is always square root of 2 over 2. Now, that's in quadrant number 1. As you know from trig class up before, quadrants 1 and 2 give you positive sine values. So what you want to think about is in quadrant number 2, what angle has a sine value that's going to give you 45 degrees, and that will be 135 degrees. So you can use reference angles or what you already know to figure out common sine values and think about the quadrants that belong and fit this description. Now, if you have an uncommon sine value, let's just say sine theta is equal to, let's just say 0.6, you have an uncommon sine value, one that folks don't generally remember. So in this case, what you need to think about is use the sine inverse or the arc sine function. They both mean the same thing. So it's the sine inverse, or folks can use arc sine. Let's just use sine inverse as an illustration. And so what you want to do is, in this particular case, you want to take the sine inverse of both sides. Now, so you have sine inverse of sine theta equals to sine inverse of 0.6. So what ends up happening is that the sine inverse and sine cancel each other out. You have theta is equal to sine inverse of 0.6. And what you want to do is on your calculator, you want to enter this. Now, just be sure that depending on what kind of mode you want the calculator to have, you can make sure your calculator is in degrees or radians, depending on what you're comfortable with or what the problem is asking for. Now, just keep in mind, due to the calculator being constructed the way it is, it'll give you the first answer it knows, which is going to be the quadrant 1 answer. You have to use reference angles to figure out the quadrant 2 solution as well. So, I'm Jimmy Chang, and that answers the question, given the sine of an angle, how do I figure out the angle?